Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's episode 3.
That's crazy.
So excited.
That's crazy.
But how are you feeling this week?
Let me tell y'all something. I feel like it's always me. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
When I say tired, I'm talking like bone deep, soul deep, tired.
Feel it in your bones.
Shut up. Yeah.
In your bones.
Like I could fall asleep standing up.
Yeah, type stuff.
How are you?
Well, today, literally, I don't know where this migraine came from, but it came in like a rushing wind. Literally couldn't even go to work today because my head was hurting so bad. But one thing that I can say is kind of introduce to what we're kind of talking about today is the discipline when you don't have any motivation. And I think because we dedicated this to God and said that we would do this for God and do this, we have to stay disciplined in it because when we take a week off, it's over. And when you're called to something that you know that God's called you to do and to introduce this to people and you guys and all that, it hits different because not only that do we have to be disciplined in this moment, we have to take in consideration that this is something that's honoring God. And I think he put us both in a position where we really didn't feel like it to see if we were still going to do what he told us to do.
You know what? Because he played. You're right. Wait a minute. No, because God really has this sense of humor.
He does.
He was like,
He
oh, y'all tired? Let me see what y'all gonna do.
Right. Are we gonna fold? And in the season, we have to know if we're saying we're gonna do something, we can't fold no matter how we're feeling, no matter we still have to show up. And showing up means a lot more in this season to both of us because it's not just showing up for ourselves, but it's showing up for others. Despite everything, you still have to show up, make your face be known, let your light shine in these moments when you don't want it to shine. So I think that's just one thing that I've learned in this season. What about you? What are you learning?
Well, first of all, it's crazy that you're talking about let your light shine because let me tell you how it's dark outside. And it's been dark outside all day, y'all.
All day,
I'm talking
gloomy.
windstorms out here. But it's just funny that she's even like saying all of this because normally we plan our topics, right? We kind of plan our topics and we say like, hey, this is what we're kind of going to touch on. But the one thing that we had prayed about, we said, but you know what? If the Holy Spirit says to pivot, which is what we talked about a couple weeks ago, if the Holy Spirit is like, actually do this, and it was just so crazy that we kind of were on one accord and we were like, we should talk about discipline when there's no motivation, because a lot of times the problem is not that you're not motivated, you lack discipline. And there are a lot of things in our lives that have kept us from our purpose because we weren't being disciplined.
Right.
And it reminds me of that saying where it's like, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's really big in my life right now. I know some people think that I'm crazy and they're like, Aja, you gotta go with the flow. And I do sometimes, but I am very strategic and I am like kind of by the book. Like we talk about how we're like kind of the same as parents, but we're also very different. There are some things that we 100% won't let either of our boys do. Jess, I feel like, is a bit more free in her parenting. And sometimes I wish I could, be that way. So she's like a bit more free in her parenting. And I feel like a lot of times, like her and she and Jordan have more fun and all of this. When I tell you I run a tight ship.
Very tight.
Oh, it's 7:00. Go get in that tub.
Yeah.
7:30 is time to lay down. By 8:00, I need you to sleep. But I did all of that not necessarily because I want to be tough on him. I feel like it was more for me than it was for him.
Right.
Because I do like discipline. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I like discipline in a lot of things, and that was one of the reasons why I had to go back for my master's twice. The first time I got kicked out of that program. I sure did. I got kicked out of the program. I got kicked out of the internship.
Girl.
I got kicked out. And y'all know why? Because not only was I not motivated, but I wasn't disciplined and I was focused on that man. And I was pregnant at the time. So I was all over the place. And so had I I feel like had I had something like this,
Mm.
that would have been a lot different as well, because not only are we practicing discipline, but we're also practicing accountability.
Yeah.
This is my accountability partner in more than just one thing. It is in the way that I talk to people,
Right.
the way that I dress, the way that I spend my money, sometimes even what I eat, like.
Right. Right.
So that's, yeah, learning about accountability and just being disciplined, because I'm tired.
No, seriously. I think I'm sick of the cycles in my life. I'm sick of things kind of circling back once God be like, okay, are you over? You're going to do something different about this. Um, from what she said, like how I'm very free in my parenting. It took me a long time to get like that. I had to realize who I was raising. I was raising a mini me. And the version of me, I'm very goofy, I'm very outgoing, and I never want nobody to dull his light or his confidence in being himself, like mine's was growing up. So he is very free in his spirit anyway, so it just makes me be that parent that is like so free spirited to introduce, like, okay, you could be this, but there is a level of, okay, when mommy says that's enough, that's enough. And that's where I'm trying to balance now, because I have been so free and so open with him. Now trying to like tighten up that ship, it's been very difficult for me. So um that's one thing that I'm trying to balance right now. And that's something that I'm learning from her. She's very disciplined with her child. And so now I'm learning those things from her, and how she's learning be a little let go of it. Because like even when we were at church, people be like, where's your son? He out there with the kids. Like I have to let him be a kid. I can't keep him like so coddled to me, because like I said, my son is very free spirited. So there's no way that I want to hold him back from going to go play with the kids. And he's at age now, he's 4. If something happens, he knows how to come to mommy and be like, this happened. Um, but there's just different cycles that I'm just not willing to take into this new season. So there has to be a level of discipline of, for as like with my finances, for as with just little things. Everything counts in this season for me, and I'm very much so in a thing where even if I don't want to do it, I have to get up. I have to do it. Um, just a little snippet. Motivation, telling on myself. I'm supposed to be writing a book. Have I wrote it? Absolutely not. I opened it up, but when I'm talking about it's so heavy. It's generational things. And so if now that I'm saying out loud, I have accountability. Now she knows.
Y'all know. So I expect y'all to be in these comments. Did you write a chapter?
And I haven't. I've been writing it since last year, and I haven't even passed the first chapter, y'all, if I'm being completely honest. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just sometimes I kind of put that, like I shared with you guys in the first episode, like I have a GED. I don't feel like I'm literate enough to write a book, or how I don't want it to sound like something that is like quote unquote ghetto in my words, okay? But nobody else can tell the story that I've been through like me. So however it's written, however the Lord wants me to write it, I have to get it out. And sometimes the first book is something that you have to get out. Mm-hmm. And so I think that once I get it out, I'll be able to get over the little hump that I'm in, for it's this generational thing that has been in our family for a while. But it's just me not starting something and then stopping in the middle. So it's just a follow through for me, even when I don't want to.
And I'm only making this face, y'all. I promise I'm not judging her. Well, I am judging, and let me tell you why. I'm only making this face because we are our biggest bully. Like, we are our biggest bully and our biggest critic. And I just wish that you could see yourself the way I see you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
That's why I get so angry with her sometimes. She's like, I can't spell. Girl,
I can't.
Who cares? Because here's the thing. You're writing a book, right? No one who wrote a book didn't go take it to an editor. And they didn't go through, they went through the book for them. They went through the book. They fixed everything. Like, there are steps and there are things set in place. That is what delegation is for. Your purpose is to just get it out there. And then somebody else will take the reins. She's so smart. When I say smart, like, and it baffles me that she doesn't see that. And I think it is because these are our lived experiences. There are some things that she sees on me that I'm like, girl, what's it?
No,
Like, are you?
It's a real thing. I mean, for me, growing up, it was very hard to express like how I felt. So a lot of things that I come to her and I'm like, I don't know how I feel. And I get so upset because it's like, I know that there's other emotions besides sad, angry, crying, all those things. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel. I don't know what this means, but I know that I'm feeling some type of way. And it's not always something that I can express. And so with her, it has been easier because she's like, oh no, it's valid. It is a feeling. Now it's time to like kind of identify like what you're feeling, and words mean something. Like it means so much to me. Words matter. So I try not to rehearse the things that kind of happened to me in my past, but they have shaped me into who I am today. um when I was 13, I was like told by someone in my family that I would never be nothing and I should be put on the corner because of that's I'm a hoe, so I might as well be put on the corner anyway. So growing up, I just think that I didn't think that I was worthy enough to get to some of the places that I've been. And sometimes I do dumb down like my light in certain situations because I don't think that I deserve it. Not because of me having a GED, but it's because that seed was already planted in me so early that I don't think that good things or greatness could happen for me. So when good things happen, I feel like they're going to get snatched away. So I'm always waiting for that moment to be like, wait, when is this gonna let up? But in this moment in my life, I'm very much so accepting that good things can happen for me. So I have to get that seed and that out of my mind, even though sometimes it still tries to pop up. But I know that I'm better than that now. And I have been very protective over my son. I don't let nobody talk to him crazy. I don't let nobody speak over him, even the family. Like if I go, I'm always watching to see what people try to plant in him, even though it's unhealthy. I'm very much so aware of that. But I never want nobody to make him feel the way that they made me feel growing up. So that's why I said words are very, very important to me. So I'm working on it.
She got it, y'all. She got it. No, but that is valid because for me, when we tell you guys that like we have similar stories, um, I guess you can say I was kind of like the black sheep of the family. I don't 100% know the history between like my mom and her cousins, my grandmother, that side because my dad's side is not as big as my mom's side. Um, but I know I never really felt welcome. I never really felt welcome. I heard, the chit chat. I heard supposedly I was pregnant at 14 and like I heard all of these things, right?
Right.
And I think that what a lot of people don't realize is when you do plant certain seeds in people's lives, especially at a young age, um, sometimes it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so I feel like there were some things that I did and it became a lifestyle because these are the things that people were saying to me and saying about me, and I started to believe those things. I remember there was one time that we did a Bible study at home, y'all. I promise I'm not gonna cry. We did a Bible study at home, and I don't even know why this was a question in the book, but the book asked, "Who in the family annoys you the most?" And when I say my mom, my brother, and my grandmother, my dad was at work, I think. All of them said me. And I was like, huh. For me, I think I was, what, maybe 12, 13 or something. For me, it was my mom, right? But I mean, that's normal. I'm a young girl, hormonal, and me and my mom are just bickering all the time, right? Because one thing about women, we know that we're fairly territorial. And the one thing I had to learn growing up was that was my home. That wasn't my house. I ain't own nothing in there but myself. And so that broke something in me at that time. And I remember I went upstairs and I was like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. And my mom was like, don't get sensitive. Like she wasn't being mean, but she was like, don't get sensitive and blah, 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 because I think she realized that my feelings were hurt. And I went upstairs and I cried about it. And I think that was also where I learned, give yourself 5 minutes, get it out, and then you're done. Right. And so I cried about it and I came downstairs. And then the second part of it, though, was that they were supposed to tell that person that annoyed them something that was really good about them. But by that time, it didn't matter to me. So I wasn't, I started to realize that, like, or this is what I felt. I felt my family didn't like me. I was bullied from elementary, honestly, through college.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just had this idea of myself, and I began looking for love in all the wrong places and all of those things. And so it's kind of like similar to her. Part of the reason why I do run such a tight ship with my son is because just like she's raising her, I'm raising myself. I am raising somebody who is like 10 toes down. I'm going to do what I want to do. If I said it, that is what it is. I'm going to fight you on it. Like my son will look you eye to eye. He will stand toe to toe with you with his 3-foot self and will stare you down. Like I'm not doing it. And so I have to run a tight ship because I also know I'm very big on routines. If my life is thrown, if you throw one part of my day off, that is it. My whole day is ruined. I'm angry for the whole day. And he's similar. He's very militant. And so because I'm raising myself, I'm so tight with him because the moment that someone plants something in him, because he's such an empathetic person, like if y'all ever see him at church and somebody's like crying, he's the first person to like reach back and like look into your eyes and rub your face to make sure you're okay. He won't even know your name, you know? But he feels so deeply. And I don't ever want anyone to take that from him. Right. And so I run a very tight shit with him. And I'm also very much like, we're working on the whole, this is a discipline for me. I want to kiss my baby all day. But I'm working with him on, no, mommy, don't kiss me. Right? No, mommy, I don't want to do that today. No, mommy, I don't want you to touch me. No hug, mommy. Or I will ask him what kind of touch he wants from me that day. And so some days when he tells me no, he will turn around and be like, actually, okay. And it's because we're learning to respect those boundaries. So part of that discipline that we're talking about when you're not motivated, sometimes I'm not motivated to be good to myself. And that is a discipline. It is a discipline to sit with myself and say, I'm casting down these negative thoughts.
You have to.
And I'm only focusing on what is pure and what is righteous and what is good and what is edifying for the Lord. You know, what is lovely. Like, that takes a lot of work. A lot of work.
Sorry, it just made me think about whatsoever things is lovely. Whatsoever things is true. Go check it out. Oh my God.
If y'all are ever in Vegas, y'all have to come to Bethel. That is where we go to church. And we feel like our pastor, she like did like a whole rap. Basically.
She did.
She didn't mean to.
She didn't mean to, but that's stuck in my head. I remember that scripture now because shout out to the best pastor, Pastor B.
Yes. Whatever it is, that's lovely. Like, but that's a discipline. It is really a discipline to sit there and think something and immediately say, absolutely not. Every time I think something negative, let me replace it with something positive. Like that's it is. And it helps that we can do that for each other. There are some times where I'm saying stuff about myself and Jess is like, excuse me?
Don't ever talk about my friend like that.
And it'd be that, don't talk about my friend like that.
Don't talk about my friend like that.
We even do that to the boys. I'm like, Jordan, don't talk about my baby like that. Like,
seriously.
Don't you ever. So discipline is more than just getting up and going to the gym. Eating right.
It is.
Doing your homework. Right. It's so much more.
Those things matter.
They do.
But it's more so of once you do get into the routine, it actually helps your everyday life like change. It shifts the atmospheres of your days. If you wake up correctly, spend your time with the Lord. When I say that shifts your entire day, and that's what I'm learning. It's not an option. It's not an option to spend time with him. Because when I don't, I notice the days. I notice that I don't feel right. I notice that I don't feel so secure in my day. So discipline with God is just like, that it ain't even an option for me anymore. I have to spend time with him. I have to we do devotionals. That's one thing that I can say. Find you somebody that you can do devotionals with, because those devotionals be eating us up. Like, when I say eating, and
then we go to church, and I'm like, "Why are you reading our text messages?"
Yes, because before we started the podcast, we read Proverbs. Talked about wisdom. Talked about discernment, and all of those things mattered because we had to be in that place to even do this before, because I felt like lined up so well.
It really did. And then we turned around. So I chose the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's 31 days in January. Let's do Proverbs, right? Because there's 31 Proverbs. So we did a proverb a day. And it worked out so well because we were able to like really sit and say like, okay, so this is what we want to do. This makes the most sense. And because we're practicing wisdom with discernment, now we know when God is like, no, not that, or not yet. But then Jess chose
soul detox.
The soul detox. Now I know I just told y'all that I don't always be good to myself. I had no idea how terrible I was to myself. And some of the things that I thought until we started reading that devotional, and the fact that we're doing it together, I'm like,
it makes you think.
This is messy.
It is. No, for real. It is so funny too, because like one thing that I can say is her. She's like very much so like I can come to her and she never judges me, because y'all, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. This is one thing that I do want to share with y'all. I don't understand the Bible. I don't understand nothing that it says,
especially them names.
Yeah. And so that was my biggest thing. I think that was like where I kind of lost connection with God a little bit, because I just didn't understand his word, and everybody's like, read his word. Don't get it. But now that I'm kind of reading through the different how do you say it?
The different versions.
Catch me an NIV all day, every day, because I'd be like, oh, that's what it meant.
So that's what y'all saying?
Right. And so with her, I'm able to be like, okay, even if I don't like understand it in NIV, I'd be like, so what does this mean? And she'll break it down so like swiftly, where I'd be like, ah.
And that took time.
It took time for her, but to know that I have a friend that I can kind of go to, be like, okay, so what does this mean? And her not be like, for real, you don't know.
Like,
but because I understand when he be like, you fool. Like,
no, because God really be calling us stupid. Your word said that if you're not practicing wisdom, okay, if you don't have wisdom in your life,
like, so he pretty much called you stupid,
and you're not using discernment, he said you're dumb. And you clearly like to be dumb. And I'm like,
I said, he said that about me?
He did.
If because wisdom is something that is like offered to everyone. You just have to be able to listen. She's always there. That's as it said. Like, you just have to listen, have a keen ear to listen. But there's so much that we could talk about with discipline and motivation. But today, I think it tested us if we were going to be who we say we're going to be.
And to be obedient.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling y'all, so hers was that migraine, really bad. And we had like the really bad windstorm. My son decided that he wanted to spike a fever at like midnight. And I'm like, this is not my life. But because he just got over a 7-day fever that made no sense to anyone. And so this go around, thank God he had this fever when he already had a follow-up, that was today. But it was just like, Lord. So I was up all night basically praying over my baby, because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong, and I need the Holy Spirit to like guide me in the direction of what is wrong, what do I need to tell the doctor they need to look for, what is what are all these things. And it's so crazy because the Holy Spirit knocked me down Sunday, and I was like shout praying, and I don't remember everything that I said, but one thing that I said was, I said, Lord, my baby is not sick. It didn't make sense at the time. And then he spiked this fever, and I'm like, absolutely not.
That's what's so crazy.
Absolutely not. I am commanding this fever, because no, I told you Sunday that he wasn't sick. And you told me that if I had faith when I asked you for something in your son's name, and if I told that mountain to move from here to here, it was going to move, baby, that fever had to go.
Immediately.
It had to go. And so, I don't know, they told me that, they're like, we don't know. He seems perfect, whatever. He hasn't spiked, that fever again today. So, we're just going to keep praying over him and doing whatever we got to do. But this is what we mean by discipline, because I would have never known how to pray the word over my son if we weren't in our word. And Jess is going to read it in the morning. I'm going to read it at night. I'm not getting up. I'm no good to the Father at 5:30 in the morning.
See, that's where I'm at. I'll be up at 5, calling down, girl, don't play with me. But no, I think in this season too, we're literally deepening our relationship with the Father, because the thing is so crazy is because how she prayed out loud. That's something that she's been told, that she's a prayer warrior, and she is. my thing is, I've always said, where do people go when they be like slain out in the spirit? Baby, when I say on Sunday, Sunday, y'all, I had a bun in my head. By the time the end of the service, I had 2 locks hanging right here, ponytail out the bun, laid out on that floor. Don't know who was speaking. Don't know none of those things. I was like, Lord, you didn't. I didn't need a detailed experience like that. I just want to know where people go. But He's teaching us this: when you ask, you shall receive. Because I wanted a deeper relationship with the Father, and He like, bet. You know how to speak in tongues. You know how to shout. You know how to shift an atmosphere. But can you lay out? When I say lay out in obedience, sometimes you have to lay straight up, prostrate before the Father, and He don't even care how ugly you look. Because I looked absolutely insane.
Yeah, when she got it,
I was still crying. I couldn't even get up off the floor. Like,
glory.
There shall be glory after this.
No, let me add glory. And one of the other things about discipline, because we say, like, there's so many areas of discipline. One of the other things about discipline is praying when the Lord tells you to pray. Because we've both been kind of covering each other, and I'm so grateful. But I promise y'all, the lower she got on Sunday, the louder I shouted. And we talked to y'all about the fact that, like, I'm still very new to speaking in tongues and all of this stuff. But I told the Lord, like, if you're going to give my friends and my family these breakthroughs, then I'm going to continue to figure out and practice how to speak in the spirit. And when I tell y'all, because whatever breakthrough she was having, I was like, bet, you want me to keep praying on it? Then I'm going to pray on it. So the lower she got, the louder I got, because she can make it. She has to. Like, she has to make it. Her son has to make it. Her mom has to make it. Her sister has to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no.
But that's so crazy, because that's the way that I feel about her. Every time my friend on altar, I care about other souls. Don't get me wrong, but when my friend is getting a breakthrough for herself, because she came up there with me. I don't speak a lot about it, but I am very much so. I like her son. Like, I feel people. So there was this sweet little girl behind me just crying her eyes out, but I can tell that she was just so afraid to go to the altar. So my love language is hugs. I can hug you. I love hugging people. I love to feel like that breakthrough of people through hugs. Praying out loud, that's something that the Lord is working on with me. But for as hugging someone, love it. That is my love language for people, and to bring like souls to the Lord, if that makes sense. But turned around, simply was like, can I hug you? And she immediately like broke. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I was just like, kind of like, speaking over her and like praying for her, whatever. But I didn't want to do too much, because I knew that she needed to go to the altar. That was my biggest thing. If I can be the guidance to the altar, that's what I'm going to do for you. So I simply asked her, can I like, take you up to the altar? And I'll like, my thing was take you to the altar and I'll go back to my seat type stuff. But she clung to me so hard, because I felt like in that moment I was her safe space. And so I was standing up there. She was, getting her little breakthrough. And as my pastor, she was praying over someone else and prophesying over someone else in front of me, and she was speaking on her mother. And when she was speaking over her mother, the words was hitting me so hard, because if you know my mother's situation, since my brother's passed away, she's been in and out of rehabs. Even like a little bit about like my childhood story is like, the reason why I didn't graduate high school is because I felt like it was better, and it was very important that I took care of my mom when she was in the mental state that she was. Not because I was illiterate, not because I didn't want to, but my mom was my person, where I felt like I had to take care of my mom, because my brothers and my sisters, they was out doing what they were doing, and my mom was my first. That's my priority. My mom is my everything. So I felt like I needed to help her. I've always been my mama's helper, but I've always done those things for my mom. And when she was talking about that, and she was just kind of speaking over her, all those words was like hitting me, but I could not break, because I had this baby on my hand and my shoulders trying to get her breakthrough. And I simply looked at Aja and I said, I can't do this. And she came up there, she held my hand, and she says, I have the capacity, I can hold it for you. But my brain was like, I still have this baby on me. There's no way that I can break. I can't. there's no way that I can do that. And I was like, and if I'm being completely honest, if I broke into the where I want to just kind of like, I don't think that anybody could hold that capacity because I know that there's something deep down that I need to let go. I just don't know how. But when she said that, I've never had nobody say, I got you, I can hold the capacity, because my capacity is big, y'all. Like when I say like but to know that I have a friend that's like, it's okay for you to cry it out. And that's how the kind of the shift happened to her, because she was up there with me.
Because that wasn't supposed to happen.
See, we were both in positions we didn't even think that that was supposed to happen, but God has to posture us in that moment for us to get to that breakthrough that we both needed. And the fact that she was like even praying over us in the beginning of her prayer, and then it led to something that like broke off of her and how she felt. So it's just like different things where God is just kind of positioning us like, okay, there's bigger, there's deeper inside of you guys. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep like fighting it, or are you going to let it happen? Like,
nope. And that's why we keep saying be disciplined, y'all. Be disciplined and be vigilant, because had we not, I mean, cause sometimes you're tired, right? Like, and I don't even want to make it seem like just because we have kids, like we're more tired than, like the single woman who doesn't, because y'all are doing a lot too. You know what I'm saying? You are doing a lot. You are working. You're probably taking care of somebody else, or like you got women and men, but you got women who are out here taking care of babies that don't even belong to them. Y'all tired, right? But you still find the discipline to get up, to go to work,
to show up.
Yep, to show up, to take care of those babies, to take care of your family, to take care of yourself, right? Because you can't pour from an empty vessel.
You cannot.
And so, had we not been in this space where it's like, there are some nights where I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm going to just read my Bible tomorrow. And the Holy Spirit be slapping me in the back of my head, like, girl, get up and read this word. You show right. You show right. But you have to. Those are the things that we're learning to do, because don't get me wrong, we were supposed to be working out, and we have not in a few weeks, and
we're gonna get back to it. Yeah. So we're gonna just told on ourselves on the camera.
So we're gonna get that together. But I personally feel like if I am more disciplined in my spiritual life, then the physical will follow. And so we just want to encourage all of you to just be disciplined and don't be too hard on yourself. Take it little by little. So if it is, my room is a mess, but I'm going to start by making my bed up every morning. Do that. Do that for a week, and then move to, okay, I'm going to make my bed up every morning, and then I'm going to make sure that I put my clothes in the dirty clothes bin instead of the floor every day. And just keep increasing your capacity for the level of discipline that you're going to need in this season, because I'm telling y'all, I don't know what it is about this season for a lot of us, but we need discipline, because there's going to be so many things that are coming our way that's like, let me see if I can deter you. You can't.
You can't. There is a lot of that even just happening already. Just the, if you're going to take the bait, and you have to stay disciplined, you have to keep going, you have to keep showing up, not just for everybody else, but show up for yourself. Do something for yourself. Show yourself some love. Give yourself some encouraging words to yourself. Don't pour from an empty cup. Don't pour from an empty cup, because you cannot.
And your life depends on it. And I know that sounds drastic, but your life depends on you being able to set boundaries and being disciplined enough to say no when you really want to say yes. Like, your life depends on it, your soul depends on it, and your purpose depends on it. Like, I'm not trying to be in this fire.
I'm not. Years. Yeah, me neither. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. And that's why we're kind of setting ourselves up now so that we can breathe later. Like, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I don't plan on being single all my life. But what I'm going to do right now is enjoy this single season, because I've been trying to get like, oh, I want to do this. No, I want to enjoy every moment that I have. So when I do find my purpose partner, I am in a mindset where I'm like, okay, so where are we going together? It's not going to be nothing separate. What is this that we're doing together? And I have to have that mindset of something different, a disciplined mindset, because if I can't take care of what I have now as a single mother, how can I add to this? Because not only am I going to have to be doing way more than I'm doing now, but I want to be able to be available for my man. I want to be able to be, well, not just available, but
whatever he needs, I want to have the capacity for. And how can I do that if I'm not healing the singleness in my life and handling all the things that happened in my childhood so that I don't bring that trauma into our relationship? Exactly. There's so many things that I want to heal from still, and I have to be disciplined and diving deep within Jessica to see what that means.
I love that
because that's definitely going to segue us into our topic in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot to touch on just being in that single season, especially as a single mom.
Yeah.
So we are going to let that steep.
I hope that you guys enjoyed episode 3.
Yes.
This has been great.
I'm so excited.
Discipline, and you have to stay motivated. Do your thing. We are proud of you guys.
Yes, we love y'all.
We love y'all. Y'all exceeded our expectations for the first episodes. We are so happy to be doing this and expanding our like just the love that y'all show. This is so crazy. We're so like, when I say we were not expecting it to show up like that and show out, but when you are doing something that is led by God, it's going to exceed your expectations. Yes. Sorry, I can't even talk right now.
It's okay. It's okay, because we listen and don't judge.
Right. But we will definitely see you guys on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with a woman that you feel needs to hear this.
Yeah.
But seriously, take this week, take the next week, let this steep, sit in it, think about what it is that you need to work on, and then make that list and work on all the things that you feel you need to be more disciplined in.
Right, because you gotta think on things that is lovely, think on things that is true.
She gonna fire us.
All right, y'all.